Hey guys, it's Tarkhis from TarkhisGaming. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a 100% fully automatic sugarcane farm. Now I've done a video similar to this in the past, but this is now an updated version that uses hoppers and chests to store the sugarcane after it's been harvested. This system isn't 100% efficient because some of the sugarcane will get lost along the edges here, but it's definitely worth it in the long run because you don't have to come back and harvest a huge field of sugarcane whenever you want it. How it works is the sugarcane will grow along here as such. Once it hits a certain position, such as this one up here, pistons will extend, knock out the sugarcane, it'll come down to the hoppers and store in the chest. That way when you want to make your paper or your sugar, whatever you're making, come into the chest and it's all right there. So now I'll show you how to make it. So you're going to want a base that's 4 wide. So you can start by placing 4 soil blocks in a row, and then you're going to want to extend these out 8 blocks. This is where your actual sugarcane is going to go. So you're going to want to do that on both sides. Once you have that, you have your basic layer set up. In the middle here is where your water is going to go. Now you have the choice. Below here, I typically like to put ice. The only reason for it is it makes the items go faster, so they fall onto the hopper easier, but it's not necessary. The items will fall in just using water on whatever you have here. Once you have that set up, you can go ahead and start building your back wall. So the first layer, all the way around, is just going to be whatever block you're using for your construction. I'm using stone brick. You can use whatever you want, as long as you think it looks good. So once you have that built up, you can go ahead and start with the important wall, which is back here. Now the third block up, this is going to be the top of the sugarcane, right? So you're going to want a bud switch here. In order to set up a bud switch, you're going to want to take a sticky piston and place it facing away from the sugarcane, the opposite direction. And then attach that to a block. And then one in front of that block and one below it. So right here, you're going to want to place a redstone torch. That way, once this extends, the redstone torch will give power to this block, and then you can use that to power everything else. In order to power everything else, you're going to want a block outside of this redstone torch and in front of this redstone torch. And you want to go ahead and place a repeater on each of these facing away from the torch. So now to set up the actual bud switch, you're going to want a block in front of this redstone repeater with a redstone torch on the side. And then all you have to do is hook that up to a block that is diagonal from this piston. The reason you want it diagonal from this piston is because that's how a bud switch works. So you give power to this, and then this piston will not be powered until there's a block update beside it. So go ahead now and have redstone wire run from this torch all the way up into the back of that block. And you now have a bud switch. You can have another one on this side as well. It'll harvest it more often. I don't find it to be necessary, but I do like to put a piston here just because it makes it look symmetrical, and I always want my builds to be symmetrical. So now that you have your actual bud switch set up, you can go ahead and start building your harvesting mechanism. So all you have to do is place a line of pistons on each side and have it too high so that it harvests all sugarcane blocks other than the base one. So on the back of these, you want to place redstone or whatever block you're using, whatever one you've chosen for your build, and have it cover every single piston. Now you're also going to want a 2 wide space at the bottom of these, so you now have 2 up and 2 up and 2 across. Now to connect this so that your circuit is complete, to start, you're going to want a redstone repeater going into this bottom block. So one there, and then I like to alternate and have a redstone repeater every other one. It's not necessary. You can use a repeater every single one. I just like to do it this way so that I save resources, and I'm using redstone dust for every other piston. And then all you do, run this along and connect it to your bud switch. Now I have my bottom one set up, and for the top, all you have to do is run redstone all the way across. And then anytime this block updates, right here, it'll fire. So when you have sugarcane along here, every time the sugarcane grows to this block, it'll harvest the rest of these. That is essentially it, but this other side does have a slight difference, so I'll show you that real quick. All you have to do, once you have your piston set up along here, when you take this, you're taking your redstone now from here. If you want it to, you could build a long line over there. It's just a bit more of a hassle. So all I do is I build the same here, build the 2 up and then the 2 across. And you're going to want the same general ideas that you're doing on the other side. But now what I like to do is you have to invert this signal. So take the redstone, put it into here, torch, and then just do the exact same thing you were doing before by pulling out the current. Sorry, missing a block here. By connecting the redstone torch and running the wire along here. And then once you get it hooked up, it's a matter of doing exactly what you did on the other side. So just placing repeaters and then redstone, connecting it all up, and then also running it along the top so that all the pistons fire. Now that you have that, again, this side won't work because I don't have anything hooked up here. But this side, when you place a block, it'll fire both sides and harvest all of the sugarcane you have here. Once you're done there, all that's left to do right here is to place your hoppers and place your chest below it, and then obviously incorporate this into whatever you're designing, whether it be a room or whatever else. So all it takes, place your chest first, shift click, place your hoppers on top so that everything will go into there. Now all you have to do is plant your sugarcane along here, wait for it to grow, and it'll automatically harvest. And once you're done with that, you should end up with a final product that looks something like this. So all I've done here is I extended out the rest of this piston wall as I did the other side, and then I built a nice little case around it. So I've added an arched little roof, and then some lighting. I use glowstone, you can use whatever you want. You know, make it look pretty, make it functional, and do exactly what you want. You can add some more hoppers down here if you want the chest to be lower down, different room, however you want it. And then every once in a while, just come back, grab your sugarcane, make your books, do your enchanting, and have fun with it. This has been Tarkhis from TarkhisGaming. Thanks for watching, everybody.